My name is Mark, and my life ended on October 17th. I just didn't know it yet. The grind was my entire existence. Drive, sleep, eat, repeat. The rideshare app, Aura, was my relentless master. The car was my cage on 4 wheels, and the city was a blur of neon and strangers' faces. I did it for the money, sure, but mostly I did it because it was easy to disappear into the monotony, to let the algorithm dictate my path and quiet my own failed dreams of being a musician. That night started like any other. The rain was a constant misting drizzle, turning the streetlights into hazy halos. I was tired, my back ached, and I was counting down the hours until I could call it a night. Then the ping came. Elm Street. The name on the screen was and the profile picture was a gray, featureless silhouette. A glitch, I thought. But the fare was a long one, all the way out to the sleepy suburb of Oakwood Vale. I couldn't say no. I pulled up to the curb on Elm, a shabby street, where the light from the lone working street lamp fought a losing battle with the gloom. A figure was already waiting, a tall, still shape shrouded in a long, dark coat. They moved with an unsettling fluidity, sliding into my back seat without a sound. The door closed with a soft, final thud. Hello. Heading to 1243 Willow Lane? I asked, my voice the standard. Cheerful drone I'd perfected. Silence. I glanced in the rearview mirror. I could see the shape of them, but no details, no glint of eyes, no hint of a face, just a silhouette of deeper darkness. I shrugged it off. You get all types in this job. The quiet ones were usually preferable to the belligerent drunks. I confirmed the trip on the app and pulled back onto the slick streets. For the first 10 minutes, the only sounds were the swish of the wipers, the hum of the engine, and the low thrum of the city. But then a chill began to creep into the car. It wasn't the kind from a broken heater. This was a deep, penetrating cold that seeped up from the floorboards and settled in my bones. I reached for the climate control, but it was set to a comfortable 72 degrees. I looked in the mirror again. The passenger hadn't moved a muscle. They were perfectly unnaturally still. Not the relaxed stillness of sleep, but the rigid, poised stillness of a predator. Then my phone dinged. The sound was abnormally loud in the tense silence. The screen showed a notification from the Aura app itself. My heart stuttered in my chest as I read the words. Error, no passenger detected. Please confirm your rider is present. A cold sweat broke out on my forehead. This had to be a joke, a system error. Hey, everything okay back there? I asked, my voice cracking slightly. No response. The silence was now a physical presence, thick and heavy. I dared a longer look in the rear view, trying to catch a glimpse in the fleeting light of passing cars. But something was wrong. The light from a street lamp would sweep the interior, illuminating the seats, the headrests. But when it passed over where the passenger sat, the light seemed to be swallowed whole. It was a pool of absolute light-devouring blackness. Panic, pure and electric, shot through me. My hands clenched the wheel. This was beyond a glitch. This was wrong. I needed to get out, to end this now. I swerved the car, tires squealing, and pulled into the brightly lit, almost sterile sanctuary of a 24-hour gas station. I threw the car into park, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I didn't dare look back. I fumbled for my phone, my fingers trembling so badly I could barely swipe the screen. I had to cancel the trip. I had to call the police. My mind was a screaming mess of terror and relief. I was safe. The lights were on. I was in public, gathering every ounce of courage I had. I spun around in my seat, ready to face the empty back seat, to confirm it had all been a hallucination, a stress-induced nightmare. The back seat was empty. The seatbelt was clipped neatly into its holder. There was no sign that anyone had ever been there. A hysterical laugh bubbled up in my throat. A glitch. A crazy, terrifying, but ultimately explainable glitch. The relief was so profound it felt like a drug. I ran a hand over my face, my entire body shaking with the aftermath of the adrenaline. It was over. I looked down at my phone, my thumb hovering over the button to call support, to report the bizarre app error. And that's when I saw it. The trip was still active. The fare counter was still running, the numbers climbing at an impossible rate, spinning into the thousands. But that wasn't the worst part. Where the passenger's icon should have been, the pulsing question mark was gone. In its place was a new, horrifying symbol. A single, unblinking crimson red eye. The app hadn't been glitching. It had been loading. It had been calibrating, and now it was finally showing me the truth. I wasn't driving an empty car. I had never been driving an empty car. I was giving something a ride. And I realized with a soul-crushing certainty that the trip was far from over. In fact, it had only just begun. The destination was no longer a house in the suburbs. The destination was my own utter annihilation. I scrambled out of the car, leaving the engine running, the door wide open. I abandoned everything, my car, my phone, my wallet. I just ran. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs gave way. I never finished that trip. I never got my car back. I never went back to my old life. The man I was died on that road. They say it was a psychotic break. My family tries to get me help. But I know what I saw. I know what was in my car. And sometimes, in the dead of night, I'll feel a sudden, inexplicable chill. I'll see a glitch on a TV screen or a computer monitor, and I'll know with a cold dread that it's not a glitch at all. It's a reminder. It's still out there riding. And maybe, just maybe, it's looking for its next driver.
This is Fearville. Thanks for watching. If you survived this story, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell icon so you will be notified when we upload a new story. For more tales that will keep you awake tonight. See you in the next nightmare.